We just finished the hardest challenge, I think, that I have ever done in my life.
Maybe that you've done.
What? Okay.
So we just wrapped up 30 days of living on Portuguese minimum wage. Let's get into it. What's up, expats and travelers alike? I'm Josh with Expats Everywhere.
And I'm Kalie.
And today we're taking on a massive challenge. We've had so many people in our audience say, oh, well, you couldn't live in Portugal if you were just making Portuguese minimum wage.
I guess we're gonna find out, because that's what we're doing right now.
So Portuguese minimum wage in 2024 is 820 euros per month, and we are going to attempt to live on 820 times 2 because there's 2 of us. All right, I just got a message from a tax specialist, actually the tax specialist at Fresh, Portugal, and found out that we just lost about 90 euros for our challenge. So 90 euros each will be part of taxes, yeah. So we've gone down from 820 to 730 each. Fun. One caveat is we do have a 4-year-old daughter and she goes to a private creche here in Portugal. We're not going to drag her into our insanity, so we're not going to take her out of school or anything like that. We're just going to subtract that from being a part of the expenses.
Right, we can't change her stuff for a month.
We need to actually see this. We need to visualize how much we're working with because we've never really thought about restricting ourselves in this type of way. So let's see what minimum wage looks like. Let's remove the amount you have to pay for taxes. Okay, so now we're left with our income, right? After tax income. We gotta remove rent.
And utilities. We aren't sure how much utilities will be, so we're just gonna go ahead and set aside 130 just in case and hopefully have a little left over.
This is it. This is what we are left with for the rest of the month. All right, so seeing this amount of money is kind of shocking.
Well, I think for me, I always use a card. I rarely have cash with me, so I don't know, it's gonna be different, I guess, using cash.
Yeah. I mean, this works out to be like 20 some euros a day, right? And we haven't even factored in groceries. So like normally our groceries would be around 400 a month. Mm-hmm. But then that's gonna take away 400 from what we're working with now. So like we're just gonna pull up 400 and then just gone. So
gone into our bellies.
So now we're working with like 200 and something.
I'll say this though, the way that we'll cut down on groceries is we won't order online. That's a convenience thing. We won't do that. Prices are a little higher and you have to get 100 most of the time to get free delivery. In-person shopping, and we'll do maybe more fruit shops and local stuff.
What we'll try to do is let's buy the store brand, not buy the name brand stuff. We don't do a ton of like international products anyways, so that should be okay.
We generally do seasonal fruits because sometimes things like berries can be quite expensive, but when they're in season, then they're really affordable. So we'll just do seasonal things. At the playground on a Saturday afternoon, free. Not getting anything at the cafe because I brought some snacks. Didn't take a car or anything, took the bus.
All right, so we encountered the first problem, having foreign friends. This means that they're always tempting you with buying these very expensive things. So we're in day 2 and now we are stuck with this.
A friend who also used to live in Korea brought us some Korean food from a new place that opened up.
$10.90.
Kimbap.
Is it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's definitely not as much fun going to the game without Kalie in Valencia, but I think really, because of the budget, we can only afford 1 ticket. And here comes the first money-saving hack that we found doing this challenge, and that is to eat at the Pingo Doce Cafe. Now, a lot of the grocery stores in Portugal do have these larger cafes with a wide variety of foods at low prices. We've started to go out with some friends of ours that have left Porto. We meet with them on Sundays whenever they're in town and grab a meal together. This way, we're able to stay connected with friends despite the fact that they've moved out of the city that we love. We're taking the bus because that's just what you do, I think, when you're on minimum wage, right? No, for real though, we did check to see the cost of Uber. Uber is $294. So it's practically the cost of two of us to jump on this bus.
What's tricky is when you have to take public transportation is you have to wait for it, especially buses. So that is something that's tricky instead of just being like, well, I'll just jump in a car because it's faster and I know it's a little more reliable. So that's tough. See, who's this for?
For now.
For his birthday?
Yeah.
I just dropped Sia off at school. I have to go back to the school in 15 minutes, so I popped into a cafe to slam a coffee before going back. Yeah, so today is day 5, and I can tell you over the weekend it's kind of been a struggle because we've had a lot of social opportunities come up, and we've either awkwardly had to tell people what we're doing and the fact that we're living on minimum wage, which has been kind of weird for them to hear, I think. And then we've also just had to decline some things. So yeah, we haven't seen some friends in a while. They invited us to a craft beer fest. So I think what we're gonna do is take like a responsible casino approach, whereby you go into that casino knowing that you're only gonna drop like 50 to 100 euros or whatever it is.
We're not gonna have Super Bach in our bags.
No, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. But I think we'll probably have to budget there like maybe 20 euros and just see kind of what we can get.
Right.
Like 10 euros a piece.
Yeah. And then I think the other thing is when friends are like, do you want to go out to eat? I'm like, yes, but we need to go somewhere local or do like the menu or something like that rather than maybe a more Western or a more expensive style restaurant.
Like not much has changed in our lives yet. However, I've noticed that I've definitely been thinking about money more, like every day. It's a little more stressful, I've noticed, and it's only day 5.
It's uncomfortable, I think. That's the thing is like money seems to be always circulating in my mind now. And so I imagine that, yeah, one, you have to count money because it's tight, then it circulates, it's always on your mind. I think we're gonna learn new ways of enjoying ourselves, having entertainment, but maybe being more mindful of how much we're spending.
We both started the month with a few rides left on our Metro passes, so we haven't topped those up yet. If you haven't seen our cost of living guide, we've been getting these produce boxes from Quinta Terra Viva. Will we still be able to afford them moving forward? I don't know. Later in the day, we hosted a meetup at the Bee Garden. Every 4 to 6 weeks, we try to host these, and we let people know either on social media or in Kalie's newsletter. If you want to sign up for that, email her at info@expatsEverywhere.com. We grabbed a few drinks and some food. Okay, so we're getting ready to head to a craft beer festival, which I'm assuming that this isn't a common thing I think that someone on minimum wage would go to. I feel like tonight's gonna get very expensive. We're gonna try to mitigate that. Yes? Do you wanna see also? Sia will not have a beer budget. No.
Snack budget maybe?
But we'll have some stuff for her. I think we are gonna try to eat there. And then we also have to top up our Metro cards. And you can say something, go ahead.
It's very important. A festival likes to open a lot.
That's right. A festival likes to open a lot. When we top up our Metro cards, we purchase 10 trips at a time. 1 is free, so we actually get 11. Right now, the current price is 14 euros. Entry into this beer fest is free, but you do have to purchase these little tokens. Each token has a euro value that will allow you to purchase the beers at the different stalls. You can buy beers in 2 sizes, 20 centiliters or 40 centiliters. Now, I'm not gonna lie, our friends Anna and Vic wanted to hang out with us longer, so they did buy us a couple beers. Cheers! Woohoo! Oh, lost 50 cents. It was right around this point that this food started to make us hungry, so I had to go order some stuff for us. Oh, it's ready. All right, you're probably wondering, was this food overpriced? You betcha. Was it worth it at the time? 100%. We were having such a blast with our friends, we decided that we would head back to our place for a house party to keep costs down and to keep the party going.
We are at an event this morning, Saturday morning. Sia's classmate has a birthday party, but last night it was a late night. It was fun. The beer place, actually reasonable prices to get the tokens. We did that. We ran around WOW for a little bit because they have a big bunny up. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. And then people came over to our house. So all in all, not too expensive, but a really good night.
So once we told our friends about the fact that we're on such a restricted budget, it was really funny because they're like, oh, let me get you a drink, like I'll help you out. So there is that social dynamic. If your friend group is, let's say, more affluent, I think they don't maybe want to cut you out of their life. They want to be able to, like, you know, help buy you beer or whatever. So we definitely noticed that. That was interesting and good. So we appreciate Vic and Anna for getting us a beer at the beer fest. This has become clearly challenging in the fact that I'm always thinking about money and like how to reduce my spending, and it's just literally always at the top of my mind. 21 days left. We're still on track with 22 euros a day, more or less, but whew.
We are heading to the grocery store. I have a list so that we don't get too crazy, and our goal is around 75 euro.
The price difference here. Well, this is a bummer because this bread here is €1.20 less, but it sucks.
We're gonna buy it.
We're gonna buy it.
Okay, we normally get the cheddar, and actually, not bad for price, so I'm gonna get it. Josh wants to do burgers. Well, we got some on sale for the buns.
All right, I'm gonna swap out these here. There's 4 patties in here, but I just saw there's 2 larger patties in here. There's €3 instead of 5. 300 grams versus 400 grams, the other one. Savings. All right, total $69.83. We hit our goal.
What I noticed is that I was browsing a lot more rather than for brands, for actual prices and to see what was on sale. A lot actually had the on sale sticker, which you don't get that when you do online shopping, of course. So I think we were able to cut back on some of the prices by just getting the stuff on sale.
It's Sunday, so we're back out with our friends from out of town, and we're trying out a new place that has a cheap menu. Yeah. All right, so we've got a dilemma right now. It's the weather's been very, very tricky, let's say. We'll call it tricky. It's just been kind of spitting rain off and on throughout the day. And Valencia has swimming lessons. So Kalie's gonna go get her from school, but then has to take her to swimming lessons and then get her back from swimming lessons to home. And we just don't know what to do because it's like, do we take the stroller, take a car? How many cars do we need to take? We're on minimum wage here. What are we gonna do?
So I left the house and I was gonna walk, but it started pouring. I grabbed the bus. It's not raining here right now, so I think I'll take the bus from here because I get a free transfer to swimming. All right, no rain right now. Swimming is over, so there's not a great bus to get us home, so we are walking. Just loaded our Metro cards, 14 euro for 11 rides each.
We also have a pay-as-you-go telephone plan through Vodafone, so Kalie jumped on the Millennium app and topped up our phones. You know, during this rainy period of the year, with a kid, so you've got to get to school on time, dry. It takes some doing. So spending a little extra money on that, but honestly, if you look at the per day cost, it's not that bad. Under €3 to get her to school. Usually in the afternoon, it's not raining. Taking a bus is a little easier because we're not so pressured for time. So here we are. We're exactly midway through, and I'm actually feeling pretty good about this.
Me too.
I've kind of forgotten not forgotten that we're doing this, but just gotten into a rhythm of not really spending.
Adjusting, I think. I think one thing that's big is we do talk about money a lot more, what we should do, can't do, what are we going to do, but it hasn't actually been that hard to be like, well, this is what we should do or not do.
It feels weird. There are times throughout the days where I'll think like, oh, it'd be cool to go grab like a cup of coffee at So or whatever. Grab that interesting pastry I just walked by. And I just don't, because it's like, it's not really in our spending.
Yeah, it's not a necessity really, so it's kind of, I guess it's been a little easier to cut it out when you're thinking, I don't really need that, so it's okay. One hack that I think we found, which was good, are house parties.
House parties.
Going to someone's house or having people over, and you can have a great time. You can still have the entertainment, you know, if you want to watch something or just chat. So you have the community of it, but maybe you're not spending as much money out because you have stuff stocked and then people bring stuff.
Yeah, and it's still awkward to say to somebody that we haven't told, yep, we're living on minimum wage. I think even that is starting to get a little less of an issue. Another beautiful box has arrived and looking forward to checking it out. Let's see what we've got.
We're here at the store picking up pizzas and some wine because we're having friends over tonight, and then a few other things to get us through the week that we're low on.
Total $54.36. It's been 5 days since we've had a grocery shop. This one wasn't a full one, but bill's a little higher than I would have expected. Let's see how long this lasts. Valencia loves these little yogurt drinks, but I noticed that the store brand is €1 cheaper, so we're gonna try these. We'll see how she likes it. Is it good?
Yeah.
So you have the store brand?
Yeah.
And you like the flavor?
Yes. The different flavor is strawberry and banana. It has got red and lemon.
Okay, we just went to the grocery store again. Kind of feels like we're doing this a lot, and it was a little over €50. I don't know how much different it is to order groceries online compared to going, because it feels like we're going a lot more right now. So it will be interesting to see what the comparison is there, but another grocery run.
More veggies, €10 for this box, 8 actually for the produce, and then 2 for delivery. All right, I just grabbed a couple beers, some broccoli, and some ice cream, 3 very random things, but we want to watch the match tonight. Valencia's been asking for broccoli, so needed to grab that. And, you know, ice cream. She's a good girl. Valencia, not Kalie. Then we'll get some ice cream. And unfortunately, Millennium Bank every month takes out a monthly bank fee, $8.32. Okay, so as I sit here, we have just received the water bill and the electric bill. So let's find out if that $130 covered it. Give me just a second. I gotta go into my emails and I'll check that out. I am back and the water bill is $19.34. It was a good year. And the electric is $78.04. So that gives us a total of $97.38, meaning that we get to add over $30 back to our monthly budget.
All right, we're at Covello for the kids to play, and then we're getting drinks and snacks and ice creams and all that fun stuff.
Lollipop.
So Kalie asked me if I'm gonna get the prato do dia. She asked me if I was gonna ask what it was, but it's $6.50, so I have to get it. It's the cheapest thing on the menu. What do you think about my food?
Looks good, looks good. We'll see how that is. I see a bone in there, but the beans and rice look good.
What'd you get? Bifana?
Prego.
No, prego.
Con queso.
Any good?
It's really good.
All right, I had to pop into a coffee roaster called Senzala. It is more affordable than specialty coffee. It's a mid-range coffee, so I picked up a kilogram, actually. They put it in 2 bags, so half a kilo each bag. And they were doing a little promotion, so I got a coffee and a cookie to take home to see you, for free. Okay, so we got a week left.
I'm actually feeling pretty good 3 weeks in.
This past week, we have been doing pretty well with the budget, but I did notice something really interesting happen. First 2 weeks, we were really tracking and logging every single day and entering it into our app. But then this past week, we got really comfortable with our spending and just spending less. So we weren't tracking it every day in terms of putting it into our app and seeing exactly how much we had. That caused a big problem.
I think what I found is our social life is not really taking a hit, but we do have to be more conscious of what we're doing and how much money we're spending. So while we are able to do certain things with friends, which is really nice, that hasn't gone like completely away or we were worried about what it would look like. We just now have to be like, can we go here? Or maybe I shouldn't get that extra drink.
We got to the point where yesterday, we actually totaled everything up, and we went out on Friday with some friends because they invited us out. We felt like, oh, we've been doing super well. We can go out and have this meal. It ended up costing 21 euros, which isn't bad for 3 people to eat. But the problem is that we had a couple grocery runs mixed in there, and we tallied things up. And yeah, we're still on about 20 a day, but we've got a couple things coming up this week that are gonna be costly. Things add up really quickly. So I'm a little anxious to see what it's gonna be like getting to next week, getting to next Saturday and having to pay for groceries essentially. I don't think we can do anything social up until Saturday next week. We'll kind of see what we're left with on Saturday.
When you have more money or when you have a lot of money or something, you know, that you don't have to actually think about it. So when you have less money, then you are consciously thinking about it all the time.
That complicated things, at least for me. I don't know how Kalie feels about it.
I think this week's gonna be a little tight, but I think what I found is there are ways to make it work if you want to make it work.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It's a little stressful, but I think that we can do this, but one more week to go. Today we definitely find ourselves in a bit of a complicated social situation. We're 7 days away from coming to the end of our 30-day experiment, and Kalie's got the match to go to. We're trying to live off of about 20 euros a day, and that match is definitely going to put her over that 20 euros. Now, I'm hosting someone over at the house, so I'm gonna grab some snacks, and I really need to keep it under like 6 euros to not completely blow the budget. Let's see if I can do that. All right, it was not complete victory for me, but pretty close. 6.49 for the pregame stuff. Kalie asked me to pick her up something, which was 99 cents. So 7.49, not bad. And about 2 hours before kickoff, Kalie met up with 2 other girlfriends of hers for some drinks and some snacks. Money is tight, but let's be really honest. A haircut would be a part of a monthly expense. So let's go. 11 euros later, but it had to be done. End of the month, and we are really on a tight budget until we get paid again. Living paycheck to paycheck is not easy, so I'm gonna go pick up a few things and see if I can have it stretch out to the end of the month. And as luck would have it, Kalie gets sick and needs some medicine. Sheesh. Heck yeah, man. Just under 7 euros for my 4 items. It's gonna be close, but I really think that we're gonna do this. I think we're gonna get there unless there's some sort of unforeseen financial tragedy. I think we're gonna do it. We don't have much left in the budget, but I'm confident. I'm very confident. All right, I have another quick run to make to the grocery store. 3 days left, so that's 3 kind of lunches and dinners left to make until the end of the month and we get paid again. So I'm trying to keep this run under 10 euros. All right, day 29. We are here just finishing up dinner. Valencia is having a little bit of ice cream and we're having dessert as well. So we have saved a little more than 35 euros, which means that we can go to the FC Porto game tomorrow. And we should have enough for popcorn.
We're stuck at a house.
That's right. All right, so we've just about run out of toilet paper. We need toilet paper and a protein to get us through the day. This is gonna be complicated. All of the toilet paper is over 2 euros.
Where is hard to buy?
Okay, we're on our way to the game. We're super excited about this one. 3 tickets at 11 euros each is 33, plus we have a couple euros to get some popcorn. Let's head into the stadium, grab that popcorn, and watch a great game of FC Porto. Well, Boo Boo, how'd you feel? I mean, what do you think?
I think I've said the whole way through, uncomfortable. That is the key word of this challenge, uncomfortable. This last week has been really hard because we're running low on funds. It's almost like we're counting the days to the next paycheck. And then I got sick. So real life reality kind of set in the sense that we had to go to the store and get medicine. So something that we hadn't budgeted for, we hadn't planned for, and we needed to buy it. We had to. So it got a little stressful there towards the end. It was hard, you know, kind of just waiting for the next bump of money to come, I guess you could say. So money was definitely on the mind.
Boy, this last week was super rough. I think we really made a mistake the week before where we didn't calculate things and track it every day and just see that number. So we were really threadbare. Felt like we were just stripping out the cabinets of any sort of staple items that we had. Zero variety at the end of the month. Couldn't go out and buy things that were maybe outside of just staple items like milk and cereal or bread or eggs or whatever. So that was rough. I mean, I know at the beginning of the month it will be better because I can buy that stuff again.
I think this process has been quite eye-opening.
You know, getting to the end of the month, it really felt like living paycheck to paycheck.
You know, obviously we talk about minimum wage and how hard it is, really in any country, but here especially because it's quite low.
In terms of how it made me feel, it's doable. It's definitely doable. I feel like nobody should aspire to live on minimum wage, for sure. You start where you start, and if you have to start at a minimum wage job, then it is what it is, but you should always want to strive to have a better job, a higher paying job, and better yourself. So I felt like that.
I have had to pay more attention, obviously, to how much money I'm spending. I have had to look if I'm out for places that are more affordable, like, okay, I can go there, I can't go there. And it's uncomfortable in the sense that when you want to get together with friends, either you gotta say, can we go to a place here, or I can't go because I don't have the money, or you have a friend saying, oh no, I'll get it for you, and you're like, no, like, I'm not gonna be a moocher. So I think that it's overall, the whole month has been a bit eye-opening in the sense that you're thinking a lot about money. So that can be uncomfortable too because it kind of runs your life, really.
To just sit for years on end at a minimum wage job would not be sustainable. I did actually think though, living in a smaller city or town, not being in a major city like Porto, it could be easier to do. So the minimum wage is national, so it could be easier to do. But overall, not particularly fun. Doable, saved a lot of money, I mean, in reality, but yeah, it was rough. What do you think is a comfortable, because this was not comfortable, what do you think is a comfortable amount?
Budget, but comfortable would be 2,000.
Agreed. If you enjoyed this experiment and want to see us do some other crazy challenges, leave us a comment in the comment section below what you'd like us to do. And if you like videos like this, hit the subscribe button for Life Living Abroad now.
Let's keep moving. Bye.